welcome to Birthing Bosses with Felicia. I am Boss Lady Fee, guys. This is kind of like a little impromptu video. I was just sitting here having a personal moment with myself, and I was like, let me make a video about that because it maybe it can inspire someone else or encourage someone else. I was sitting here thinking about how, you know, it's getting warm outside. The summertime is coming. And, you know, I know some of you are new following me, but those that have been following me for a while know that I've often talked about or either shown on videos or reels how instrumental my husband was in my family's life and how instrumental he still is, even though he's gone on to be with the Lord. I was just thinking about how it's getting warm outside, and you know, we have several properties, including where we live. We have the church, then we have personal property, and I was just thinking about how, you know, it's getting warm and the grass got to be cut and the yard has to be attended to and different things. And my husband was the go-to person for everything. Whether it was doing the yard, whether it was fixing something, whether it was going to pick up something, whether it was repairing something, whether it's cooking for me, cutting my steak up. I didn't even have to cut my steak, you know. I mean, that's just what me and my children was talking about that yesterday, and they was like, Mom, you was just so spoiled. But it went both ways. It wasn't just him spoiling me, I spoiled him as well. But anyway, back to what I was saying, like, he played like such an instrumental part in everything in our lives. So I was just sitting here thinking of like, who's gonna keep the grass cut, who's gonna this and who's gonna that. And you know, my husband not only did all of these things, but he taught us how to do these things. Like when he would go and cut the grass at the church, he and I both would go. He and I both would go, and he taught me how to ride the riding lawnmower. As a matter of fact, I have videos, because he had, like, my husband was a handyman. So if he would see a lawnmower side the road, he would stop and pick the lawnmower up and go home and fix it. So he had we have several riding lawnmowers, but it was always a riding lawnmower that he would have to tinker with and you know, maybe put another part on. But he had the skills to do that, and even though I didn't or I don't, he would always get me to do stuff with him. So he would be on one riding lawnmower, and like I said, I have videos where he would be on one side of the church cutting and I would be on the other side cutting. And I was just thinking, like, who is gonna do all of these things now? And I know, you know, for those of you that are used to getting other people to do stuff, or, you know, maybe you have a husband but y'all pay people to do stuff. Like, my husband always believed in saving money. I would be like, you know, because he was, well, we are not old. He was not old. We were only in our late 40s. But I was like, you're getting too old to be doing certain things. Like, let's pay somebody to do this, that, and the other, so you don't have so much stuff to do. Because he just believed in being a family man for his family. And so he would do everything. And I was like, look, we got money now. God has blessed us where we're able, and I don't make any apologies for my tears, okay? This is life. This is real life, okay? But yeah, I would be like, you're getting too old to be doing stuff. He was like, I'm not old, you know, I got this. But he did realize that he was getting older and not able to do things that he was able to do. But he would still do those things, you know, and it may take him a little bit longer, but he would still do all of those things. My husband has always been a very, very strenuous worker. He's always, you know, lifted up heavy stuff. He'd go pick up a refrigerator by himself. He'd pick up wash machines, dryers, different things. And I'm like, why don't you get some help? But he was just always the strong guy, the macho guy, did everything. Just was the saver to the day for everything. But I said all of that to say, the moment that I had those thoughts, guess what happened? I was riding down the street doing my penny shopping. Y'all probably can see some of the bags in the back. I don't have a whole lot, so you probably can't. But anyway, I was doing my penny shopping, and I had that thought to go across my mind. You know, sometimes we can have thoughts that can sometimes feel like they're overwhelming us. Even though we have faith, we have strength, we know that we're overcomers, and we know that God is always going to provide a ram in the bush, and God is always going to make a way out of no way. But sometimes we have human moments, and we get caught up in the cares and the thoughts of the world. And the very moment I was thinking, like, who am I going to get to do all of this stuff? Like, you know, it's like I said several times, and I'm kind of like repeating myself, but who am I going to get to do this stuff? And so the moment that thought went across my head, I rode past a old lady, well, she looked elder, riding her lawnmower in her yard, cutting her grass. And not only was she riding on her lawnmower, cutting her grass, she was riding on what appeared to be a brand new lawnmower. And I said that to say, and you guys probably saying, what does a brand new lawnmower have to do with it? Because one of my thoughts in my head was, like, my husband's lawnmowers were not brand new lawnmowers. Like, if it wouldn't start up, he knew what he had to do to get it started. And I was like, he knew what to do to get it started. So I was like, okay, he taught me how to ride it. And I was there when he was doing different things, but I don't know how to repair a lawnmower. I don't know how to, you know, change the oil in a lawnmower. And I was like, okay, I know how to cut it, but what am I going to do? And at that very moment, God was like, but Felicia, I provided means for you. I provided finances for you. You can either, number one, pay people to do this. If your son is too big, because my son helped my husband out do different things. But my son has always been into ministry since he was a young boy. So a lot of times he was not around. So he was like, if your son is not available to do these things, he said, you now have the finances to pay to get these things done. Not only do you have the finances to pay to get these things done, if you want to do these things yourself and you want to be like your husband and save money for your family and stop sourcing out everything that we can do ourselves, if we just stop being lazy sometimes and seek and learn how to do things, he said, buy you a brand new lawnmower. It's not like you don't have the money. You may be cheap or frugal, as some of you all call it, and don't want to spend money. But I provided the means for you to go get a brand new lawnmower, something that you don't have to worry about tinkling with, something you don't have to worry about if it don't start. Just get up there and ride. Get up there and drive. And that's what God is simply saying today. Just get up there and ride. Whatever the it is for you, whatever the something is for you, just get up and do it. Get up and drive it. Get up and be it. Get up and do it, guys. Because we can get overwhelmed. But can I tell you that God always provides a ram in the bush? God always makes a way out of no way. God already knew, even though we didn't know, God already knew that my husband wouldn't be here and that the way had to be made. Like, my husband was the provider for our family, even though I've always been an entrepreneur and I've always had my own business. My business was not to the point where it was able to sustain my whole family, or it wasn't able to you know, be able to sustain the bills for the month. So my husband was like the main source of income, and what I brought to the table was just like a supplement. But then towards the end, God flipped the tables where a bulk of the income was coming from me, and my husband was supplementing the income. My husband was in business with me, but the main streams of income, or the greatest streams of income, was coming from me, and my husband was a supplement to what I was doing. But now God already knew all of these things, and he had already had a plan. So I want to tell you guys, in the midst of grief, in the midst of turmoil, in the midst of tragedy, in the midst of trauma, in the midst of drama, in the midst of whatever it is, dark days, cloudy days, rainy days, whatever you have going on in your life, know that it is not too hard for God, and that he has already provided a way. He's already made a stream of income. You've just got to step. You've got to step, and you've got to not allow your mind to be consumed with the what ifs and what, you know, because we can get consumed with what if this don't work, or what am I going to do about this, or where am I going to go when this don't work out, and where am I going to go? And God is just simply saying, take one day at a time. And while you're taking one day at a time, know that I'm the one that's leading your footsteps. I'm the one that's providing a way. I'm the one that's providing the income. I'm the one that's providing the money to pay the bills. I'm the one that's doing whatever it is that you need to be done. God is the one, guys. So with that being said, I want to say, be encouraged. And know that whatever you're going through, whatever you're faced with, is not too overwhelming for God. Listen, guys, I hope this video has encouraged you. I hope it has motivated you. I hope it has inspired you to know that whatever you're going through, God has already provided a way, and he's already provided a ram in the bush. Be blessed, you guys. Even in the midst of your tears, you may have to do like me and shed a few tears, but do know that God has not forgotten about you. I love you guys so much. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell, guys, so that each and every time I upload a video, guess what? You will be the first to be notified. Get your money, honey, and fill your bag until the next video. Yourself, you and your husband, you ain't gonna get nobody else to do it. But y'all, this is my first time on a riding home. First time. My husband over here rigging up this tent with his fishing pole.
Kill everything.
Nobody's gonna know.